I'm feeling good. Glad to be here.
I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean? Why you been off in the cut though, man? You need to be out front somewhere.
Well, that's, you invited me. I'm here. I seen you at Compa Night at Roompa Notes, and you were like, pretty much, I'm sick of you hiding in the cut. So,
I'm glad I could say that to you.
Of course, yeah. And you're not the first person who said that to me.
Yeah.
So, it's just actually to answer your question. I've been working. I've been busy. I homeschool my sons first and foremost, and that's a big responsibility. I have my 2 boys, but outside of that, with just the entrepreneurship work that I've been doing with my mom and my family businesses, it's been a lot. But now feels like the time to get in front of the lights with folks in community. I haven't been to Converge in a long time, and O was on me like last year about getting up in here, and I was like in the cut, just like you said. But after seeing you a couple weekends ago, I feel like you pressed the issue, and I was like, you know what, it's time, let's go.
Yeah, man, Black media matters, but you matter, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And you being in the community the way you do, having that strong head on your shoulder, showing power, powerful women is an inspiration to that lady, that young girl right there, and to maybe some other people too. So I got to make sure you understand how powerful you is, and your words do travel. Like, I don't realize my words travel because I'm just silly sometimes, and I just say what I really want to say, and maybe I have to apologize sometimes, right? But most of the times I'm not. But with you, like, people listen. And we was in Chopton. You always gave me dialogue, and it was no matter how stressful the situation was, it was always a dialed down approach of direct, here's a solution. We got to work on solutions. Like, I can't talk about that no more. It's a solution that needs to be held. Where did you get that from? Like, where did you get that calm in the storm type of, because that's hard to do. Most people get so emotional and not worry about the solution anymore because we're angry or mad.
Yeah, I have to give it up to God, just like our young brother did in the beginning, because it's my gift. And it took a long time for me to realize that was my gift, being able to receive somebody's energy who is like in that heightened state, who is dealing with whatever that may be frustrating them in the moment, which is just that moment. But I have this understanding that every human being has a whole story, a story that I'm not privy to unless I'm, getting the chance to really get to be with them and yes. Listen. And it's just my gift. So I thank God for that. I thank the ancestors for that, for helping facilitate that realizing and understanding. I'm a very spiritual person. And since I have my now 13-year-old, Lord.
But we're going back to the homeschooling. You're not getting out of that. But go ahead.
Having kids changes us, right? It shifts your consciousness.
Definitely does.
If you allow it to. And having my first son really changed how I saw the entire world. All of a sudden, like, you're responsible for this whole new life. And then I became hyper aware of, what it is to be a Black person, to be a Black man, because now I'm raising one. And yes. So I had to, shift gears. And that is what made me really start to pursue and understand empathy and just like taking the time to know people's stories. And a lot of it too is just me feeling like folks see me and have an opinion of me and think that maybe they know my story without knowing anything about me.
Yes.
And knowing how that's impacted me as a young person. I appreciate you bringing up the youth, because that's really my main focus in life. Yeah. It starts with my kids, but then it's a trickle out effect.
It's a trickle out effect.
It's a trickle out effect. And
I think for me is like, as you saying about the ancestors and how you can calm in the storm, is just, I don't know, man. Some women just have it, and some women have the tenacity too. I will say, I've only heard you really raise your voice like once or twice. And furniture will be moving if she start raising the voice. I will say that, ladies and gentlemen, don't start her and won't be none, okay? She has, only twice. And it's a look first. She gives you a look first, and it's real killer instinct first. She's gonna tell you to
That's
slow down.
facts.
But I want to know, like, what, because you've been homeschooling,
Mhm.
how does that look? Because we just, a massacre just happened at elementary school,
Mm.
and how is it that you have the time and the patience to be with your kids that long? Because there's a lot of people that can't. And
Mhm.
how do you have that and then have the knowledge and know-how to give them all the knowledge that they would need in their state of where they're at in their world?
The time and the patience is real.
Okay. Okay.
That is the first thing you have to remember. I think what I know also, what I do with myself, is I take a lot of the pressure off myself. I take a lot of the expectations that we are indoctrinated into around raising our children, around how we're supposed to do things with children according to uh, these white institution standards. Which I grew up in private school, private Catholic school, so it was certain level expectations.
All the time.
I was able to maneuver within those institutions okay, and without realizing when I'm older, like, the impact it had on me. Now, when I had sons, and I remember, I'll never forget, like, the first day I put my oldest son into kindergarten, I had him all, he was ready to go, could read, write, all the things. And then he came back that first day just like a different person. And it's been many of those experiences for me as a mother where I was like, and then also learning the true history of this country. Once you go back to history and you really start to dig deeper, not just what they give us in the textbooks and these institutions, you can't know the history and not know better. Now, the doing better is a little bit challenging, but like I said, for me, it's taking that pressure off myself. The past couple of years, I before COVID hit, I was already preparing. That's how you and I met.
Yes,
Well,
that's
how you and I met, okay? Because
we
were
was
both
talking about this before you did it. Okay,
it was what, 2016?
We were talking about it before you did it.
We were talking.
I think it was like man, if it hadn't been you already had taken them out of school.
Mm-hmm. Not yet.
You were,
but we were on the way
to.
there.
Yeah,
we were on the way there.
You was fed up.
It was like my 5-year plan at that time.
Yes.
Right. I was like, in the next 5 years, I'm gonna have my kids out of these schools because it's not serving them. And so what I've done is shifted and adjusted my life as an entrepreneur. So I took the entrepreneurial leap first because I was tired of working for these white corporations. I'm just gonna say it. And I don't think will get mad about that one. I was tired of working for these white corporations, and I wanted to be free. Okay, I wanted to work for myself. I had all these great ideas. I wanted to, be my own boss, and I wanted my sons to know that was possible. And I was just gaining so much knowledge that it's not as difficult as folks lead us to believe, to be your own boss. And that's how I got into the business consulting. You and I met at Ventures Nonprofit. We were doing an 8-week entrepreneurship course. Okay,
goodbye. Okay, that's when I published my magazine. Yes. Let it be known. Okay, and you're still doing that business consulting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, like right now, I'm working on my last business consulting as far as like a paid gig is with my family's businesses. My mom has been in the music industry for over 20 years. She's been building generational wealth through her own entrepreneurship. And, she'll tell you that like she dreamed of these days that she would be working with me and I would be, carrying on this legacy. And so with those type of women in my life, it was almost inevitable that I would go this route. But we've just kind of shifted our life to where, mine especially, where anything that my boys need to learn, they can learn by watching what we're doing in our day-to-day. Even if that's just getting up in the morning and getting ready and, making sure we get all 3 meals every day and, that we're, doing something that we enjoy. My knowing with us as a people, like what we need when we talk about solutions. You mentioned how we can talk about the problems all day long. We can focus on how horrifying the reality is, or we can talk about the solutions. And for me, I've been thinking about solutions for our people for a long time. And for me, and what I'm shifting to I'm done with this business consulting after I get my family's businesses all squared away. But spirituality. That's what I want to be focused on. I want to be having conversations with my peers about spirituality. Like, are we talking to God? Are we healing from our trauma? Not just the trauma we've experienced in our lifetimes, but the generational trauma that is passed down to us through our DNA, folks. Scientifically, we are carrying all of that weight and pain and horror from the atrocities that have happened towards our people in this country specifically and the indigenous people of this land. And so that's where my focus is shifting creatively. So that's my little, side conversation.
Of creative working with people spiritually and just trying to heal.
Yeah, trying to heal us.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think that's a great thing of trying to heal people. Like, I think we need to heal and we need to be together a whole lot more than what we are right now. Okay, I'm telling you, we can't even break bread no more unless it's at the club. And I know we have other places to go. You know what I mean? But in the same sense, we have to have a good time as well. But anytime we're all together, we can move mountains. I tell you that right now. We can move mountains when we're all together.
Yes.
And I think, I think somebody said power in numbers, but why don't we take that statement and use it for our betterment? It's always been a question for me, right? And, I was going to ask you some questions, but it's going to turn into a whole long dialogue. And we're on a show right now. I can't be doing this now. I mean, so you're trying to work spiritual healing. That's what you're coming out to cut and doing, helping your mom run a business that she's and passing down the legacy to you so you can run it down. Right now, I've always called you a phenomenal woman just because you handling your business first and foremost, and you're always dedicated to your kids and trying to advance them. But homeschooling, giving them the education and the history they need to be proud of themselves, on top of, running a business consulting thing, which you're going to cancel that because I'm about to run with moms because, I'm trying to run with this legacy here and try to pass it on to my sons, right? I just wanted to tell you, man, you're every woman. Okay. Right now to me, I think you're every woman. And I think sometimes you have inspirations. And I think hopefully the women out there get inspired to just take it one more step at a time and another step at a time and keep grinding at it. And we need more big mamas. And I know you're going to be a big mama. Well, you're a big mama now because you get all us in line. I'm telling you, the look is crazy. Can you get a camera a look?
Am I looking right here?
Right there. Okay. Right there. Give them that. Nah. Give them that look like I did. I said something foul and I shouldn't have said it.
But you're not saying nothing foul.
Okay, you're right. I ain't because I know better.
You seen I eased up on the. I'm smiling more now on the socials and things.
Listen. She was dark for a minute. I'm telling y'all.
I knew you were gonna say that too.
Listen, she was
my
dark
on top of my all black for
Listen,
you.
This is the first time in about 5 years I done seen her with not all black on.
Facts.
Okay, she too high yellow to be in here with all black on. It's just not gonna work like this. Come on, sis. Okay, but I appreciate you having the,
I say Wolf Deluxe down.
I mean, Wolf Deluxe. Big shout out to Wolf Deluxe. I need to have Wolf Deluxe on the show too. Yes. I ain't had no custom nothing from Wolf Deluxe. You know what? Matter of fact, I'm not gonna go there because then, you know what? I'm not gonna go there. But Nadia, listen. Now that we know you're gonna do this and carry on the legacy, what should we know from?
Yeah.
What is next for this legacy duo?
Absolutely. So I'm gonna real briefly cover a few things y'all should tap into. With my family businesses, a lot of y'all who do follow me are familiar with our nonprofit organization, the Harriet Tubman Foundation for Safe Passage. We have some really great fiscal sponsees that we're working with, organizations that are working on solutions. Okay, so Fresh Start is one of them. I think you're familiar with that crew.
Yes, I'm familiar with Fresh Start.
Central District, Seattle. We're also working with an org called BIPOC Stack, which is sustainable tiny housing for artists. Okay, so we're trying to address that housing issue.
Wait a minute. Tiny houses for artists.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're talking ownership. We're also, we launched a AAU basketball team through the nonprofit organization called Seattle Legends. I still need to connect you with the coach.
Well, you just got to connect me. I know what's going on. I ain't heard about no Seattle. I need to know where they at in the gymnasium.
Yeah, and they got a tournament this weekend, and we're fundraising for them actively. Of course, we're fundraising for all of these projects, but we're trying to address the roots of the issues, and we're doing it low key, but we've decided now is the time because the way the alignment has been working, like we're ready to share with y'all. On top of that, we have a split sheet app that we're getting ready to launch called mymusicpublisher.com. We're going into beta testing. We're planning our launch party for June in LA. So that's a big deal. And that's really the thing that's going to get my family straight for a long time. So I'm really looking forward to that. Also, I'm doing Black and Tan Hall. So we had the original Black and Tan Hall on the poster here, right?
Okay, you see that.
Y'all make sure you check out blackandtanhall.com because if nothing else, we are hiring right now. Okay. And we're also looking for chefs to come through. We're doing developing our pop-up residency in the space. I'm gonna point you to the website to get that full mission and the history because we do a really beautiful community report on there every year. And then tap in with me. Just call me Naz, just with a T.
Yes,
on
please.
all platforms.
All platforms.
Tap in. Yeah, I'll be plugging everything.
You and your little dude, you and your mama both. Okay. Yeah. If I don't get invited to the events and I got to be scruffling with y'all big ass security guards to get in with my camera, it's gonna be a problem.
I got you.
I give them the look you give me.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, cool. Hey, listen, I really
get Nadia to the front here.
Okay, please. Nadia, just call me Nas needs to come to the front. I got people's off here.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I really, really appreciate you coming on.
You.
And I'm glad you coming up out the cut.
Yeah.
I need your brightness to shine up the room. You know what I mean? And some of these girls need that inspiration. So I really appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for the pressure.
I mean, you know,
we out
pressure
here now.
makes diamonds, baby.